If you have a narcissist in your life, you are dealing with a person or someone who does not have a conscience. They know right from wrong, but they just don't care. They will do whatever suits them to manipulate you and to steal your reality, to steal your energy. They are a lie. They may never lie, like they may never tell lies. They may appear to be the most upstanding, upfront, honest people, but the reality is that they themselves are a lie. They do not possess their own personality, but just mimic personalities of those they have observed over their lives to create a persona that is underneath the mask, a conscienceless, evil entity who at the same time wants to feed off of your energy and destroy you enough that you're easily manipulated and easily so that they can feed off of your energy up to the point of death, really. I want to talk about on the micro level, the personal level of things that you may not be thinking about when you think about narcissists, because everybody there's 1,000 videos out there about the traits of a narcissist, the DSM 4, 5, 6, whatever the DSM is, traits. But those are good to know. But really, when you look at these people or these entities on an energetic level, they are fundamentally committed to being evil because they are a lie. I don't care what good things they may do. That's a pretense. That's a means to an end for them. They don't care that they did something nice for somebody, really. They only care about it in that it gets them what they want. It gets them something that they require to manipulate reality so that they can steal reality and create a reality where they are the center of it and you have a designated role, okay? And the people in the narcissist reality have a designated role or task to do for the narcissist. The narcissist will only do things for others because it's a means to an end to get what they want. Okay, so on the surface, for example, if they may have a lot of money and will be generous with money, but that's a means to control others. Real human beings have a conscience. They feel things like obligation. That's one of the tactics they use is fear, obligation, and guilt to get people to do what they want them to do. And this works particularly well with children. Little children are defenseless against parents who are narcissistic because the narcissist doesn't care about their child. They don't love their child like a real human being loves another. They see their child as a tool to manipulate and to do what the narcissist wants, which is to basically feed off of their energy. The narcissist wants to feed off of their children's energy because I tell you, I swear, if you put a narcissist or another toxic person alone with no human interaction, no contact with the outside world for a few days, they would die. They would die without the constant feed of energy from their surroundings, from manipulating you and those around them in their lives. Now, some narcissists require more energy than others. Stolen energy. They're thieves. They steal energy. They're essentially on the inside. There's not much there. There's hardly anything there. There's enough to make their body move around and function, but as far as personality goes, as far as any emotion goes, there's nothing there. Hardly anything at all. So when you're dealing with these creatures on a micro level, remember that they have no conscience. Their conscience of right and wrong is just pretended. They will do whatever is necessary to get you to do what they want you to do and to have reality be what they want it to be. They will go to any lengths, extraordinary lengths, to have reality be the way that they want it to be. Lengths that a normal human being would never even imagine, would never think of. Because a real human being with genuine empathy understands that everybody around them has a right to exist and a right to their own reality. The narcissist doesn't think that you have a right to your own reality. They think that their reality is your right. It's your right to exist in their reality. So they will manipulate everyone around them to achieve this goal. So your reality is not your own anymore. Your reality has been stolen. So, and in order to get back into a reality that is entirely yours, you have to be around real human beings who respect you as a being who can have their own reality. People who need to control others to such an extent are very, very weak beings. People who need to have control over others, need to tell other people what to do, need to, are nosy into other people's lives, manipulate, gossip, triangulate, all those things are very weak people. People who need to control large groups of people are weak people. They're weak. So remember that as you go about your life, creating your reality for you, because a normal human being does not even think about manipulating other people to interact with. They don't even think about it. It would never cross your mind. You want to engage with people on a level that's real. These people, these narcissists and other toxic people are not real. They're not real people. They look real. They have a human body. You physically see them, you physically interact with them, whatever. But the inside of them isn't real. It's a facade through and through. How you can spot these people as you're going around on your personal level comes pretty quickly once you know what to look for. And that is the number one thing that will tell you who you're dealing with is that they have no empathy. They cannot understand how you or anybody else feels in any given circumstance. They have no clue, nor do they care. Now, a lot of these creatures will pretend that they know. And they may have an idea in their mind, mentally, intellectually. They may have some understanding of what that looks like. And it looks like, when the real human is feeling those things. They understand what that appears. But they don't understand it at all. And if you try to pin them down on asking them how, don't you understand how I must feel? And you keep trying to pin them down, they will either run away or dodge you in some respect. Try to change the subject, try to manipulate into getting out of answering because they don't know. Not even on a level where that is what really empathy is. To be able to understand how you must feel or anybody must feel in a certain situation is the one thing that gives them away every time. Every time. They do not genuinely love anybody. They can't. They don't possess that level of energy. That's a developed level that humanity, the human being, possesses, but not these creatures. They're shows of affection are pretend. They come from the mind. They come from mimicry in the mind, which they remember what it looks like. And so they can manipulate their body to act like that, but they don't feel it. They don't. And you can tell by looking at their expressions, and particularly their micro expressions in a given situation regarding, display of emotion. They will either react in an inappropriate way if they're really not that, if they're really kind of not the smartest. They will react in an inappropriate way, or there will be a noticeable delay in their reaction. Like, for example, they don't get subtle nuances in certain jokes where emotion is involved. And so if people, you're in a group of people and someone tells a joke about, or says a comment about something emotional, and it's funny and people laugh, they will be the last ones to laugh because they will see that everyone's laughing. They won't get why people are laughing, but they'll start laughing because they know that that's the appropriate response. And so they don't want to give themselves away. So you can watch for situations like that to tell, it'll kind of give these people, it gives them away every time. It really does. If you're paying attention, you'll pick up on that. Sometimes they will tell you directly who they are, but that's usually when no one else is around. So don't count on that. So you have to be aware of what to look for. So things that their body language will give them away over time. Usually it's over time that you'll pick up on these things. It's not, when you first meet somebody, they're always on their best behavior. When you're a brand new source of energy for them, they will always be on their best behavior. But you can, so many people have just talked about things to look out for, like, oh, they're always the victim, or, they will always direct the conversation back to themselves, or even worse, will only want you to talk and tell them everything about you. Watch out for that, because, people who are genuine and think they're having a conversation with a genuine person, another human being, aren't aware that they need to be afraid that this person's milking them for information to use against them later on. And that's exactly what they are doing. So it's ridiculous that we have to go around to be being concerned about these creatures, but we do. We have to, because their numbers are growing in society. And sadly, if you have one of these in your life on a personal level, you have to get away from them, or they will destroy you. Their every waking moment after they've got you, right, where you're in some sort of relationship, they will spend all of their time trying to destroy you, to the point where you either want to die or you do die from some sort of, stress response to all the stress you're living with. And they typically won't do this if you're the only source of supply. So even if you have children, they'll use the children as a source of supply, and they don't want you around anymore. So they will just destroy you in a way that's unseen, that can't be seen by others. It'll be to create stress in you, to create depression in you, to create so that you lose all sense of yourself, all sense of your self-esteem, self-confidence will be eroded in a way that's very sneaky. But you feel that it's happening. But when you try to point it out to other people, or you try to talk about it, it's really hard, because of course they're not going to behave this way in front of others. Sometimes they will, but for the most part, it's something you have to figure out, and then you have to get away. And this is very difficult when you have children with this person, or you find out that, in fact, you've been surrounded by these people your whole life, and you're the only one who's real. You're the only one who feels a full range of emotion, and everyone you know are these frauds. So then what do you do? That's a very tough situation, but really what you have to do is get away from them all. And you can't leave the door open either. This is really brutal because it often involves children. If you're married to one of these creatures, you really, that leaves the door open, and they will not ever stop. They'll never stop coming after you. I don't care, maybe if they get another victim or target that they, remarry, the focus will be on that new target and not on you. But really, they have not forgotten about you. Okay. So you can never let your guard down once you know you've got one of these creatures in your life. You just cannot. Because they will do things behind your back that you cannot even imagine. That a human being, even if they're an asshole, but they're a genuine human being, wouldn't stoop to such lows, wouldn't dare to stoop to such low behavior against another person. Because they have empathy. They can understand how shitty it would feel if they did that to somebody. These people don't feel that way. They don't care. They could care less. And this is even in day-to-day situations. They don't care how you feel. They only care that you're doing what they want you to do and behaving how they want you to behave, which is revolving around them. So when you're dealing with these people, you have to understand that in order for you to survive, you got to get away. You have to. There's just no way around it. And in fact, on a personal level, you have to get rid of everyone who even stays in contact with this person. Because if you don't, you're leaving the door open, and they will come back in. They will.